Okay, so guys, today I've got three special people joining me to do this European preview. First of all, I've got my close friend, my brother, the one who has been in previous videos, and he is known for grinding. I don't know what he has done to his knees after that grind on squat and deadlift, but it's Mr. Manny OWUGHA.
What's up, guys?
And then, secondly, we have somebody who was meant to be with us previously, but she made so many excuses. I was so close to not even getting on this video today. Her Instagram title is 440. She told us what 420 or something. So it doesn't make sense why she has a 440 in the username. It's my second favorite powerlifter, Hannah MATSON.
Wow, an introduction, thanks.
And then we have Liv.
Thank you.
I'm joking, guys. So Liv is, I would say, the person that lives and breathes powerlifting, right? You work for powerlifting and you love powerlifting. So it's the queen of the grind, Liv Pricey.
Hi.
Okay, so we get straight to it, yeah? We just basically, this video, we're just going to be talking through all the lifters. It's a European preview. It's going to be focused on mainly GB lifters. This video is more for everyone to get to know the lifters. So what I've done is I've organized all the 16 lifters between all four of us. So everybody has four lifters that they're going to be talking about. Everyone else, if you guys have anything to add to each lifter, you can just say your point anyway. We're going to give you a brief history on how they got to European, and we're going to talk about how we think their training is going. A lot of people don't really post their training, like myself. So it's really hard to talk about their training. And we're going to try our best to predict where they're going to end. So the first person that's going to be competing and going to be going first is Adejoke. Manny, do you want to say her full name properly?
Adejoke, or just Joke?
What's her full name? What's her surname?
Oh, Adejoke Adetayo.
Adejoke Adetayo. And that is Hannah Matson's lifter. Hannah, you want to take over?
Yeah, okay, cool. Right, I will make this up as I go along. Going first, that's not fun. So I am biased, but I'm most looking forward to this weight class, obviously, because it's my weight class. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Adejoke compete. I think like her performance at Nationals was amazing. I think it was kind of not swept under the carpet, but I don't think people really realised that both her and Bobby were on to break not only the British world record squat, but the British records for squat, but also like it was a world record. And so she squatted 188 on her second attempt. And then she went for 191.5, which is just, it's just insane. And I think seeing her progress from the last competition she did and then Nationals was awesome. And I think I kind of watched through all of Chalk Vlogs, Chalk Talk, her blog videos she did with everyone at squads, and I found those really useful to see how everyone's been speaking about their training and how they're feeling going into the competition, because as you said, not many people are posting a lot about their training, so I kind of use that as a bit of a gauge on how people are feeling going into this comp. And I think Adejoke was one who definitely set the goals of she wants to get her last deadlift, but training feels really well, feels really good. She's really looking forward to the competition. Excited for some sunshine as well, I think, with Euros being in Malaga rather than, I think, a cold European country this year seems to make
it might be raining though, because I checked
is it meant to be raining?
Well,
don't ruin the vibes, just leave it.
Okay,
yeah, don't say that.
Oh, well, I checked the days I'm competing. I think she competes before me, or does she compete the day after me? It's raining on that day. But anyways, yeah, we'll just pretend it's going to be sunny.
Anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching her compete. I think her squats have, in previous competitions, there have been calls on depth. It's not going 3 for 3, and then all of a sudden just jumps like about 10.5 kilos and squats 188 on her second was just awesome. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she squats on the day, and also just looking at, I guess, previous competitions and how they've gone. I think the last time she got her last deadlift was, I think it was in Malta. So it's about 5 competitions since then. And looking at the nominations, it's fairly close between, her first and third. But if she can get her second or her third attempt deadlift, that will put her in like a really nice position. Like if she can pull last and just pull what she needs to win, I think it's going to make it really exciting. So yeah, I guess what else there is to add is obviously
she's currently nominated second.
Yeah. So I had a bit of a look. Go on. Sorry.
She's 12 kg behind the French lifter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even try pronouncing the French lifter's name. And
it's Sav.
Is it Sav?
Sov.
Oh yeah, Pal Sov.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is with her deadlift, I'm just looking at her Power Scout.
Yeah. It's 25%.
She makes a third attempt.
Yeah, for sure. But I think exactly. So it's going to be one of those where if she can make her third attempt, that's going to make the difference. I think Maya is a bit of a force to be reckoned with. I would actually, if I had to say who was going to place first, if not Ade, like I think Maya, while she's nominated third, I think if she has a good day, I think she's quite a force to be reckoned with. Like her training total on all three lifts it's astounding. It's really impressive. So I think if she has a good day, it's going to be a very close battle between all three of them. So it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out. Like I think obviously Adejoke has the smaller bench of the three, but it's been making really nice steady progress in all the competitions she's done. So if she can add another 2.5, add another 5 and just build the total, then I guess
Bobby didn't break the world record at Sheffield, right?
Sorry?
Bobby didn't break the world record at Sheffield.
No, I don't think so. I think as in the overall total.
She failed it, right? Did she attempt the world record squat?
She did attempt it, but she failed
yeah,
it.
she attempted
She failed it. So that means she can go for the world record at Euro.
Yeah. She can go for the world record for the squat. So I think the European record is 188, and I think
188.
Yeah. I think the European squat record is 188. I think what Adejoke did at Nationals was 188, and I think Bobby went 188 and a half, which is a world record technically, but the world record or European record still stands at 188. So depending on how Adejoke's training gone, she's been able to add more to her squat and maybe even go for the 191 and a half or higher than that this time around and get it, then it'll be really exciting. That being said though, Maya has done 190 in training, I'm pretty sure. So so it might be a bit of a battle for squat record between the two of them.
Oh, that's crazy because I'm having a look at Maya's nominated total. It's 471.5. So what's her name? Pal from France. So do you think you guys follow her? Is her training going well as well, or?
I had a bit of a look. I haven't seen anything she's posted on stories, but it seems like, her reps have been high. Like all of them seem to rep similar ranges, but in terms of the actual, singles, there isn't really a lot to go off. It was kind of more comp recap. So there was nothing I could see where I was like, oh, okay, I wonder how progress has gone. Like last competition, I think the best total I can see from Pal is 182 and a half, 97 and a half, 200. But
the French are well known to go 649, right? So you never know. I think
her progress has been quite good though.
Has it?
Yeah. So it's going to be one of those where I feel like it's going to be one or the other, and you're not really going to find out till the day, really.
Till the day.
But, which makes it more exciting, I guess. But
yeah, it will be. I think it will be really close.
Yeah.
So what's your prediction on where do you think she will finish? She definitely should finish on the podium, right? Adejoke, yeah.
I think, she'll definitely podium. I think if she can get her last deadlift, I reckon it's difficult because if she goes to pull for the win, that risks obviously putting something on there that might be too much. But I think comfortably, I think she's in for second, and then if she can pull for third, depending on obviously how the others have gone in training and what they end up doing on the day. So if I had to predict, I'd probably say Maya, Adejoke, Pal. But again, I I haven't followed Pal's training as much as the others. Like Adejoke hasn't been posting as much, so it's just kind of guesswork. But that's probably what I would predict.
Which total do you think wins it? If you had to guess.
Which total?
Yeah.
Basically, what do you think Maya will total?
I think she could do 500 plus. I think.
Ooh.
I
What
think
did
like
Natalie Richards total last World, or she whenever she won, didn't she total like 505?
it
Or
was
is it
something.
525?
Yeah, I don't actually know, but I know it was above 500. But I know that Maya's done 496 in training. So it just depends whether, again, like you can put it all together on the day.
Yeah, Nats was 512 and a half.
512.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're not far off, like towards the top.
Yeah.
See, this is how you know, like if I was to do this preview alone, I would have just slept on the Spanish one. I would have just been like, yeah, she's 471.5. She's nowhere close. And I would have just said, yeah, Adejoke has a chance of winning.
Oh, she does.
But,
I mean, I think all three of them do. It just depends who has the better day and who has, like, I guess, more of a chance of going 9 for 9.
yeah, that's crazy. That's anyone else want to add anything about Adejoke? We've said most of it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
We'll just go through quick stats for her. So she makes 6.7 out of 9 lifts on average in the 13 comps that she's previously done. And she's won 30% of her competitions. And like we said before, she makes 25% of her third attempt on deadlifts. Which, if you handle her, you need to improve on your attempt selection, mate. Anyways, talking about Joey, let's swiftly move to the next lifter. Joey is Manny's lifter. Manny, gonna take over?
Yeah, sure. So Joey Diva, or Joseph Diva, is competing in the 66 kilo weight class alongside one of our hosts here, Kibria. So I believe he's currently nominated with a 650.5 kilo total. Just double check that. And he's nominated 4th. Now, the interesting thing about this, wait into this in a minute. We'll just talk about his journey to qualifying for Euros, etc. So he had a very close battle with Kibria at the British in November just gone. Narrowly missed out on winning there. Kibria beating him for the win there, but they're essentially coming in with the same total. So you could see the nominations in the 66 kilo class everywhere from literally from 1st to 4th. There's only 1.5 kilos between them all, and then 5th is 5 kilos behind that. 6th is 10 kilos behind that. So I would imagine that the podium is going to be an absolute scrap. From what I can see of Joey's training, he is looking in fairly similar shape as he was in the lead up to British, but he has good momentum. I can see that he's plugging away. He's putting the work in. His base on bench looks stronger. I can see him benching even more than he did at the British. I can see him potentially hitting 162.5, maybe even 165. Like he looks good. And to be fair, Malaka's not particularly far. It's not like the travel's going to nerf him too much.
And he's quite experienced as well. Like he's done internationals before.
Yeah, he's been doing internationals for the last like 3-4 years now. Like
I think he's done it since 2021. Yeah, he done it in 2021, and then
so he knows what he's doing. But he does have to cut now, doesn't he?
I don't know. He doesn't tell me about his body weight. So obviously, he's not going to talk to me about it. I mean, he does look a bit thicker. So
yeah, I mean, when I remember in the lead up to British, he was telling me that he was weighing like, oh, he's calm, he doesn't need to cut. He only weighs like 63 kilos, and the next thing I know, he's weighing in at a full 66. So I was like, this guy is the biggest gasser.
The thing is, me and him had similar issues. I spoke to Hannah about this before as well. Did I speak to you about it actually? About it being in the winter, and because of it being cold, our body didn't lose the same amount of water that it does overnight.
Interesting.
So I woke up in the morning where usually I'll wake up. If I go to sleep at 66.7, I'll wake up in the morning at 66. But this time I woke up at 66.7.
Oh.
I didn't lose anything overnight. It was so weird.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can think about is it being so cold. And I think he had similar issues as well.
Yeah.
But now it being a bit warmer, that shouldn't be an issue for him. So I don't see him struggling to make weight at all.
Yeah. Well, I'd back him to hit the podium for sure. Whether that's third or second, I have no idea. Obviously, I'm going to back Kibria to win simply because he has the biggest deadlift. More because he has the biggest deadlift of them all. He will be putting last. He will have the final say. And correct me if I'm wrong, you can actually load up a European record here as well. So
no.
Oh, you can't. Oh,
no,
because
Kiel destroyed everything.
So you can't chip anything then.
Yeah, man. I need to unfollow that guy, man. Guy ruined everything.
He's ruined everything, and he's just gone back up to 74 for this comp as well. At least he's done.
Was 298, and now he's gone to 317.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. At least he's gone back up to 74 for this comp.
Yeah, at least he would be nice. Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, I'd say I'd back it. I'd actually back him to. I back Joey to come second. I'd do a British one too because I'm patriotic and all them thing there. Yeah.
Fair. Anyone else want to add anything to that?
No, I don't wanna.
Okay, so with me, I see he's nominated currently for just behind me, but it's people that are nominated top two, which is gonna basically me and his is gonna be similar thing that we talk about. The people that are nominated top two, France guy I think it's his first international comp, but I spoke to Pana about him. He said he has really good raw strength, so he's one of those lifters that come in. It reminds me a bit of Maxwell from '93. He has that raw strength, but he's not precise in his attempt selection and things like that. So he could either win it or he could be off the podium. The Finland guy, 78, almost same age as Saber, but his lifts are very, very like Hannah level. Every lift that I've seen of his, he grinds everything like that. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's 280 or something he did in his recent nationals. It was soft lockout, and I didn't think it was a clean lift. And Europeans, JJ, my coach, is on my case about Europeans. He's like, you have to make sure everything is clean. So he literally makes my bench, my deadlift, squat, everything. He makes me like it. Even remember I was telling you about my elbow touching my thigh. He's really arsy about it. But I don't see the guy from Finland training that clean. So he's another one that could either be or going to be off the podium. So for me, I definitely see Joey on the podium as well.
Yeah.
With him being experienced, he knows what to do, and he usually makes his lift. Like if you look at his stats, he makes 6.7. Oh, it's the same average as Adejoke.
Yeah.
But it could be previously he wasn't making attempts, but now I guess he's more improved lifter. He's a more improved power lifter, I would say.
For sure. And his total is trending upwards pretty well as well. Like I know on the Power Scout we have
I just realized the latest one didn't add.
But he went all the way from 620 up to 650.5 in the space of how long? What, about 5 months?
And the biggest change he made was get a new coach.
Yeah. So
I guess that worked for him. So yeah, we're predicting him on the podium as well, right?
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to the next lifter. That is Makeda. Is that your lifter, Liv?
It is.
Go on, your turn to talk now.
Hello, Makeda. So first question I'm going to ask you is, I think after British, you've changed over to Page, right?
I have, yeah.
Were you self-coached before, or were you with somebody else?
So I was for a little bit. So I did the Europeans last year. So that was around March time. And then after that, I self-coached for a little bit. So like majority of last year, I self-coached, which was cool. And I self-coached into the British, and that went quite well. So I think that was all right. But it was kind of that thing of like, I suppose when you self-coach, you like figure out what works for you and that kind of thing. And then I was able to take that and then go to Page and kind of be like, this is what I've discovered works well. Like, how can we build on that, if that makes sense? But yeah, so.
Has he changed much of your training compared to what you were doing before, or is it still very similar going into it?
So I think there's quite a few bits that have changed just in terms of, I suppose, like the way we're approaching like reps and things like that, like volume. But there's a few things that have been kept in the same, which is quite nice. Like I was doing sort of a day of much lighter high bar squats, and we've kept that in and things like that, which is nice. So it was a good little like transition of like keeping in the stuff that I kind of liked, but then changing what needed to be, I think. Good.
Your high bar is very slow as well, like how you do your low bar, because you almost tempo them, right?
I
do
do.
you do it on purpose, or is that just how you squat?
To be honest, I think it's just because I'm scared of the weight. It's just so much of it. Like, just trying
Fair
to be
enough. Your
careful.
squat in British record squat is heavyweight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, my high bar is pretty standard up and down. It's not as tempo-y as my low bar is, but yeah, it seems to work for me, the tempo. So I'm gonna keep it going for now.
I mean, you do have the heaviest squat in Britain, right? In 63s.
I do at the moment, yeah.
Okay. Coming on, talking about that, I've noticed, obviously I've done a bit of research on you. You've come, for the last few comps, you've come second, third every time. So,
Yeah.
but it's been very close each time. So I think you've lost by 0.5 kg to the Italian at Western Euros. I don't know her name. Then you've lost by like 5 kg behind, is it Max? I don't want the year where Joy won. Then is it Melissa? No, Maxter. I don't know. Somebody with M came second and you came third. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
What was her name? Sorry, I don't want to say somebody's name wrong.
Hexter.
That's a Hexter.
Yeah.
She came second, and then you came very close third as well. So the question I want to ask you is, how do you see? Do you see it as, oh, you're able to podium every year, or are you frustrated that you're not able to win? Because you're very close each time.
Yeah. So I think for me, I've never kind of come away from those comps being sort of like fuming that I haven't won, if that makes sense. Like, I always just think it's really awesome to be able to get on the podium. But I think my confidence as a lifter has kind of gone up recently. And I think with that, I feel a bit more like I want to kind of push that a little bit more and do a bit more to try and like win, because obviously that would be fun. I mean, maybe not for this Euros, I don't know, but definitely going forward, like going into like the British next year and stuff, I think that's what's going to be on my mind, is kind of pushing towards that top spot, rather than where, as in the past, I've maybe just been a bit like, oh, it'd be cool to podium type thing. So
The
yeah.
mentality's changed now, going for it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the nominations for your class in Euros?
I have, yeah. So I think it's 5th that I'm nominated in now.
But between 5th and 2nd, I think it's very close, right?
Yeah.
I think that you're on what, 485, 480?
480.
480, and then second is Sabrina with 490, and it's very close. So talking about that, what does a perfect day look like for you at Euros?
Oh, so I think the number that I kind of have in my head total wise, I mean, being quite optimistic, I'd say between 490 and that kind of 500 mark.
Yeah.
I think is doable, which is cool, because I've been hitting kind of PBs and stuff in training recently. So I think as long as I can carry that momentum in, I think getting towards that 500 number seems possible. And I know that would then that would likely be pushing towards podium. So see what happens.
It'd be crazy if the podium is 500 all plus, because I don't know her name. Who is nominated first? She's got 513, right?
She has, yeah, very big total.
Do you follow her training? Is she like looking similar, or is she?
I haven't really looked. I kind of like, if I'm not massively aware of a lifter, I kind of try not to keep looking, because I'll end up sort of getting in my head, and so I just do my own thing. But yeah, she does seem to be very, very strong.
Okay, I mean, it all depends on the day, right? Hopefully you can get the podium and maybe even win. I mean, Sabrina might want to win as well. So as long as the British wins, I'm okay with that. Okay, so, next question. What is going to be the song that you'll be playing on your last deadlift?
Oh,
do you have one in mind?
I'm trying to think. It changes every week depending on like how I feel. Probably something quite heavy. I like kind of something by Slipknot, probably. I like people like screaming at me in my ears.
Does that give you a headache? I tried listening to rock or screaming music. It gave me a headache, and I was like, not for me. And last question, is there a specific lift that you look up to, you follow, or is your favorite?
Oh, I think at the moment my favorite lifter is Meg Scanlon. Just obviously, she's like right at the top of the 63s, which is awesome. And yeah, I kind of just admire, like, kind of, she's obviously got like brilliant kind of work ethic and stuff, like where she's a mum and things like that, and she's kind of gone away and come back. Yeah, so she's my favorite lifter. I always kind of, if before a session I'm like not feeling it, I will go onto her Instagram and like just watch some of her lifts, and I'm like, yeah, okay, like if she's doing that, like I can do this session. So yeah, I think she's my favorite.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds to name as many powerlifters you can that have competed in Sheffield.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready, steady, go.
Okay. Meg Scanlon, Leah Bavwal. Oh my gosh. Shell Backlund, Russell Orhe, Gustav Hedlund. Oh my God. Evie Corrigan. Oh my goodness. I'm forgetting everyone. Tiffany Chapon, Jad Jacob. Oh wow. Names. Oh my God, my mind's gone blank. Give me a second.
Okay, time. Did you just name 8? I think I lost count, but that was 8, right?
I think so, yeah. Oh my goodness. There should be so many more. I just
yeah, after I think 18 seconds you named 8 and then you named nothing.
And then
you
my
just
mind
went blank. Yeah, your mind went blank.
Makeda, so she's currently nominated in 5th, and I had this like epiphany recently, which should be a given, but that like nominations mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And that makes it even more exciting. I saw she's actually picked up posting her training in the last few weeks, which has been nice because she does rarely post, and I do get excited when she does because it's usually something insane. She actually did a 190 double on squat, which was a PB for a single, and she did it for a double, and she like did a endurance and tempoed it on the way down, you know, like she was under that bar for ages. It was crazy.
I asked her this question. Basically, I interviewed her and I asked her this question. She's saying basically because she's so lightweight, like 63 kg compared to what 190 is, if she doesn't, she throttles a lot, so she'll be vibrating. She tries to go down like
it makes sense. It makes sense, but it's funny how like it's actually slower on the way down than it is on the way up. But 190 double on squat. I think she was doing, I'd have to check again, but I think she did a 190 single on deadlift.
Was it not 205 or was that someone else?
Maybe it was. Maybe I'd missed that one. Sorry.
No, that's Betty.
200 for 2. 200 for 2.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, loving the doubles, which is exciting because, you know, see what she does on the day. And then I think her bench has been chugging along. She's just been chipping away at that kind of, I think it was, did she do 92 and a half, I think, or 95 at the British?
Is it not 97.5? Or is that from before?
I don't know, none say 97.
British, she did 97.5.
If she did, then I'm sorry, I take that back. Sorry, I was referring to Europeans last year.
Yeah, Euro, she did 92.5.
Yeah, so she did, I think, 480 at the British, which I think she'd been kind of stuck at the 470 mark for a while. So I think that's, you know, especially when you're in the same weight class, kind of like it can take a while to push. So 10 kilos is actually quite a lot. And she also had, I believe, some sort of hip injury last year. So I think the British was her first competition back being relatively healthy. So that was a kind of good place, I guess, to be able to give herself the opportunity to push towards Euros, which I think is what she's doing now, which is probably why we're seeing more training maybe. But yeah, I think also her goal that she mentioned was wanting to podium on squat again. So I think that's the main thing that she's aiming to do. Because again, looking at the nominated, it's not as tight as the 66s, but it's kind of like it goes, you've got 513 at the top, which, you know, is pretty far ahead, but then you've got Makeda nominated with 480.5, and then Spain's 482, and then Austria's 485. So I feel like there'll definitely be a battle for third, and that's if, you know, the top two even do what they're meant to do, I think. So again, I'm looking at it as nominations mean nothing. The only other person, two other people, I guess, I'm familiar with is Sabrina and Immaculada. from Spain, whose training's been going really well as well. So I definitely think that her and Sabs are like, you know, probably where they're meant to be. But I don't want to say that and ignore anyone else, because I haven't like been watching anyone else's training there. So yeah, but I do think that given how her training's been going, that she's going to have a pretty good day out there. And I think the most important thing for her will be to just go in, hit the numbers that she wants to hit, and, you know, hopefully come out with a podium spot, wherever that might be, whether it's individual lift, whether that's final podium. Yeah,
I'm just looking at the podium spots. The nominated is 485 from third, and then you got 480.5. So it is very close. So it's not like she's out of the race for podium.
Yeah.
And do you guys know who that person is nominated first?
No.
From Netherlands.
And I wish I did now.
Same. I wish I had a look who that is, because from what I know from Sab's research, that she said she's not that very consistent. Actually, she didn't say that. Someone else said that she's not very consistent. Like, she might not hit all her lifts. So
yeah,
the nominated total that Makeda is coming with is, I think she's far stronger than that.
I mean, like, the Kaylee Sue, sorry, did 497.5 at Worlds last year. So I mean, that's, I don't know where, I'm not entirely sure where the 513 came from her national championships last year.
Recently. Yeah, and that was in November. So
yeah.
Okay, so around the same time as Makeda then.
Yeah. But again, I guess that's another thing, is, you know, dependent on how everyone performs on the international stage specifically. Again, national is obviously a great level, but it is a complete different ball game at internationals, and you never know. I remember, was it Poland Euros, where there was just, it felt like everyone was coming out and getting red lighted on squats, and it was just a crazy day. I think.
When was Poland Euros? What year was that? 2022.
2022. Yeah.
Is that the one Panna bombed out?
Yeah, it was. And then Owen was fighting for his life, trying to get his squats in without injuring himself. It was just like a chaos.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. But
that's the one that gives me nightmares.
Yeah, it gave me nightmares, and I was just watching. But like, yeah, it was things like that. I guess you don't know what's going to happen, and that's part of the game, isn't it? That's why when you were saying about the 66s and having the technical advantage can actually make a massive difference when it comes to game day, because if you're very consistent, you've been hammering, you know, good depth, long pauses, long holds, whatever you need to do to kind of get your lifts to standard, it's what's going to give you the advantage on the day, if some people maybe haven't been doing that, even if they've got the raw strength. So yeah.
And where do you think Makeda will end up?
Well, I don't know. I feel like
answering this, right?
Huh?
Part of the game. I know you don't.
Yes,
I know you said you really don't want to do this.
Look, I feel like, I know she hasn't said this herself, but I feel like since she was saying how the British was her first competition back being healthy, she's put up some big numbers in the gym since, and that's been as doubles that I've seen so far. I think if she has a good day, has a good peak, has had a good peak, maybe she'd have a shot, honestly, at third. I think, you know, given the differences between the totals that are on the nominations at the moment, I think she can definitely have a shot at a squat medal. But I think, given, you know, if she has a good day, I think she'd have a shot at you know, getting on the podium overall.
She's also changed coach now, right? I don't know, was she self-coached before? She's with Pease now.
Yeah. So that's that's, you know, he's got experience, so you know, you kind of know that he's going to be hammering in pauses, depth, and her depth, I mean, you know, she's got some long legs, but she hits depth well. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think maybe for her, because I think I can't remember, it's her, I want to say second Europeans. I know she did Western Euros, so maybe
she's done loads of comps. I've had a look at her open IPF.
It's not like she's not had the experience, but maybe I just hope that like the confidence of coming back from an injury will be what will push her to have a good day and get her where she wants to be and needs to be.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at her stats. She makes 73% of her third squat. Yeah. So that's quite good, to be fair. And 80% of her third deadlift and 40% of her third bench. We don't talk about bench, right?
Don't talk about bench.
We don't talk about bench.
No,
and she's quite consistent, actually. 6.9 average lifts. Good. Considering she done 16 meets as well. Yeah. I had to look at our open IPFL. They're like scrolling. Like she always has come top 3 every year in like whether it's All England's or.
I genuinely think she's been like not an underdog, but I feel like
she's gone under the radar.
Yeah, it kind of upsets me because I just think like it's crazy numbers for ages, but I think maybe again it's
when I think she always had that Bobby Butters effect. You know, like she always goes so strong on squat. And then slowly, by the time he gets to deadlift, like last year when Joanna Mani did it, and Joanna Mani won. Yeah. By the time he gets to deadlift, people forget about her.
Yeah, I think like, you know, I think if she stays healthy now and with Pete as her new coach and, you know, keeps everything going even after Euros, I feel like it's only going to go up. So yeah, maybe you know, she'll be able to end this cycle of people, you know, overlooking.
I asked her this question, you know, I said to her, like, how do you feel like always podiuming, coming so close to winning? Like, there's been years, I think she did a Western Euros where she lost by 0.5 kg and she came second. Well, I say lost, came second. And she said, like, initially actually, I'll just post the interview, people can see, but I'm rephrasing. She said she initially used to be happy just by podiuming, or she was happy with where she was. But now she wants to push to that next level and try to come for the win.
Yeah, I think she's been sat waiting for the right time, and now she's ready
coming
to
for it all.
Yeah,
she's coming for it all.
Yeah.
Talking about coming for it all, should we go to the next lifter? I don't even know how we should talk about me.
I feel a bit weird. I don't really talk about you when you're here. We'll talk about I'm just going to interview instead.
Yeah, just leave the call and we'll call
you back.
Not
gonna lie, I kind of thought it was Kibria that was going to do Kibria, so this makes it so much.
It'd be entertaining. Well, to be fair, you've kind of already scouted out the competition, so you've done my job for me, which makes it easier. So thanks for doing that. I would actually.
Joey's stuff is going to be pretty similar because we both nominated with the same numbers. Our nominated people we're going up against are the same people, so there's not much to really say about me.
Well, there is a little bit. I would like to comment on this fantastic program.
No, I didn't see that.
How did you find that?
It's amazing. And also, that's not true, because I think we can discuss the fact that you've been probably in a quite unique prep compared to other people with being in Ramadan. So maybe asking you in an interview style sort of how, or like brief discussion, just how that's affected your training. And do you think that it's going to, I guess, influence your placing or anything with regards to competition in comparison to if you weren't, I guess, would be the best question to ask. Like, do you find that it's obviously made prep harder or I guess more challenging, but do you feel that it's put you in a position where you're looking less likely to hit things you would have hoped to hit, etc., or like how's it affected, I guess, your mentality towards prep?
I don't even know. To be fair, my numbers haven't been like that amazing. My training is never that amazing. Like I see people getting very close to the numbers they're going to compete with, whereas me, I add like from my training, last week of training total to my comp, I usually add like 30, 40 kilos. So I would like to think I train sub-max. So because I train sub-max, it's not really affected. But mentally, it does affect me a little bit. Like I did a post the other day, and I basically showed what I eat and the fact that I eat in my car before I go and train. That like it feels a bit depressing having to do that, not being able to eat at home and eating like honey, bread, jam after fasting all day. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be eating pakoras and samosas at home. So like that, it doesn't feel good. But the good thing is my strength doesn't feel affected at all. Like I still feel like I am quite strong. basically we kind of like predict where we end up at the end of the block, and it's going in that same trend. I do have 2 more heavy days of training left before I taper, but so far it doesn't seem like it's affected. My body weight has gone down a little bit, but I think that's more water weight that I've lost. So I'm not too fussed about that. And thing is, if it wasn't Ramadan and if it was British nationals or something and the nominations were like this, I'd be super confident I'm going to win. And I always back myself to win, being the biggest deadlifter. And I think over the last 2 years, I've improved as a powerlifter as well. Like, I think I take, in training, I take standards quite seriously. Whereas before I was there, like going in, I'm trying to hit PRs and whatnot. Now I'm training more like, it'll be day on comp day. Let's just get our standards on point. So the 2 things that I think are nerfing me right now is obviously Ramadan, and I'm having to compete in Ramadan. So literally, like, I don't know how I'm going to be recomping and everything like that. Hopefully I don't cramp. We have found a way where we basically add salt into the food. It stops the cramp. But I'm going to be a bit lighter than I am right now. So right now I'm like 67.5. So obviously when I get to 66, it's that extra bit of water I'm going to be losing. So, and the second thing is being my first international. Literally everybody I meet, they say to me, "Oh, don't worry. As long as you do well, you'll be happy." But the thing with me is, I don't care about all that. I just want to win. Like I
We
don't
better
know.
win then.
I guess that's what I gotta do. I just have to win. I'm not gonna be stupid and think, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna win." I know there's a chance of me winning, but I also know that there are things that are unexpected, that basically there are things that I am going to experience that I haven't experienced before. So as long as I can kind of control the things that I can control, I should be okay. And also another thing I think is over the years, I've been pushing myself so hard to get that GBR thing there and get to international, but it didn't happen. But it's happened now, and I feel like it's the right time for it to happen. I'm much more of a mature lifter. Obviously, I'm going to say that, my coach won't say that, but I'm much more of a mature lifter, and I know what to prioritize. Whereas if it was me from 2022, I would go in there open with like 240 squat, and I'd probably bomb out or something. I'd do something ridiculous. Obviously, the GB team probably won't let me do that, but I would have done something like that. Whereas now I understand that I can't go with high expectation. Go in there with low expectation and do my part. I think I've covered me for you, right?
Yeah, cheers.
So I'll talk through my stats. I have, my average lift is 7.2. So I hit an average lift of 7.2. 66% on my third squat. Yes, I've had issues with depth before. I don't usually hit my third squat, but recently I think I've fixed that. My bench, I don't even know what to say. I hit 33% on my third bench and 66% on my third deadlift. When did I miss? That's quite, I wouldn't say it's quite accurate, because the 2 times I've missed my third deadlift was because I was chasing that British A total. So I was just loading something random at the end. So it's not really realistic, I would say. I would think I hit 100% on my third attempt.
Well, you've done 9 comps and got 66%. So you've missed the third deadlift 3 times. So it's not just those 2 times. There must be another time as well. I'll go on your open powerlifting and find it.
I love how Kibria's looked at all the stats and then gone, in my opinion, this is wrong.
Change the stats.
This is actually
No,
I missed out my first British as well. Third deadlift.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can see it now.
Okay, so the next lifter. Should we move on to the next lifter?
Yeah, who's next?
Sabrina, that's my lifter. Okay, so Sabrina is actually one of the, I don't know how to say it, like, I rate her so highly. And then I found out she's half Nigerian. So she's got the cheat code.
Yes.
Like, we didn't know she was half Nigerian. I only found out, was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah,
but
that Nigerian deadlift gene.
Hopefully my wife doesn't watch this, right? But I've seen my wife basically become weaker after she's given birth. Like, she's not able to do daily life stuff.
Why would you do it like that? Why?
No, I'm just saying from my own experience, what I've seen is that having kids and then doing even daily activities is so difficult. So for her to come back after having a child and win British again,
I know.
it's just crazy.
It's like Meg's. It's like Meg Scanlon, isn't it?
Meg Scanlon as well, yeah. But I don't know Meg Scanlon like that. But I know Sabrina quite well because I speak to Jake as well. So I see how she's every day, what she's having to do. I think they did like kitchen, redone their kitchen and everything. They were eating like microwave food. So her prep is probably as hard as mine, except she had to do it for a longer period, whereas mine is like, it's only for 2 weeks. It's fasting. I'm in Ramadan. And I don't know if it was her, Demla, but I think they were redoing their kitchen, right? Is that the same people?
Yeah.
Someone back me up.
No, it is. You're right. You're correct.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
And I'm just looking at her open powerlifting. Do you see the amount of number ones next to her name?
Yeah.
She literally wins everything she does. So, talking about winning, I actually think she's going to win Euros. I have her predicted at, I spoke to Jake about this. I hope, Sabrina, you're okay for Jake to give me insider info. But if you're not, then too late. So, from her training, I actually think she's going to be around 510 kg. I know she doesn't really post her top numbers, so I'm not going to really mention what she hits. But I have her around, it all depends on what sort of attempts Matt Gary and Susie, I think they're going to be handling her, go for, because sometimes they do go for more of a safer attempts, whereas like Makeda as well, Sabrina can actually push her third attempt. As long as she secures a nice, good second attempt, she can push her third attempt. So if she does get 5'10", based on what I know about the person who's nominated first, I actually see Sabrina winning this. Does anyone else have anything else to add?
I'd say it will be an interesting, I don't want to say battle, because like we were saying earlier, I haven't followed the training, like Kaylee Sue's training, but I feel like definitely Sabrina, with the way her training's been going, the experience she has, that it wouldn't surprise me if she came first. I mean, she's going to be on the podium regardless. She's going to be probably first or second regardless. But it would be interesting to see if, you know, given, I know again nominations mean nothing, but seeing that she's nominated at 490 and Kaylee Sue's nominated at, I can't remember now, was it 512 or
513?
513.
Yeah, like if she can catch up with that, I mean, yeah, I fully believe that she's doing some crazy numbers behind closed doors. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Kaylee or Sabrina?
No, Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina. Looking at nomination, Sabrina is just slightly behind on squats, so she does. To be fair, Sabrina and Kaylee's numbers are very similar, apart from squats, where Sabrina's a bit behind. But I think she will close that gap. And to be fair, for me, saying that Sabrina will win is based on Kaylee missing a squat or a deadlift.
Yeah.
Okay, we will move on to the next lifter, the strongest British lifter, right, Ade?
Yeah, he has the highest. Yeah,
IGL after Joy. Is he behind
Joy? So he's the highest male GL, and obviously he's behind Joy. But yeah, we've got Ade Omisakin coming in for Euros. So I believe this is his first major international. When I say major international, I mean excluding Sheffield, obviously, and Western Euros is the only other international he's done as an open lifter. So this is his first one within like the Euros and World Circuit that he's doing as an open lifter. Now, I think many people are familiar with the backstory of his competition at selections, where he competed and narrowly missed weight, so therefore was ineligible to compete at internationals in 2024, so last year. So he couldn't compete at Euros or Worlds. So I think ever since then he's had a bit of a proverbial chip on his shoulder. Obviously wanted to prove a point and go to a major international as an open lifter and show what he can do, whether that be Euros or Worlds. So I was initially a bit taken aback the fact that he entered Euros, because he only did Sheffield.
I think everyone was
so recently. But when you actually take what I just said into context, it kind of makes sense that he'd want to get a European Championship. I think he's aiming to also get best lifter at these championships as well, which I back him to do. He's if I go on the nominations now, I'm pretty sure he's like 80
almost
kilos ahead.
80 kilos ahead.
Yeah, 80 kilos ahead of the next guy, 78 if we're going exact. But yes,
Rambo,
strong favourite to win. Pardon?
Rambo in second.
Rambo second, yeah. So Rambo's. I think
He'll be in the
Rambo will
800.
definitely come second. So his best total is 797.5. So I'd back him to go above 800 at this comp. But Ade, what did he total at Sheffield? Was it 852.5?
No, he totaled 850.
850
totaled
exactly.
852.
Yeah, Duran's totaled 852. So yeah, Ade totaled 861 at Western Euros, 850 at Sheffield. If all goes well, I see him hitting 870 plus at this comp. His training's looking good from what I can see on story posts and like random posts. Not obviously, there's only so much stronger he can get from Sheffield. But on a perfect day, if I had him down at around a 312 squat, like a 190 bench, and he might attempt the world record pull again, and I'll back him to do it.
So close.
Yeah, literally just balance.
Oh.
Just balance.
It was too quick. That's the issue.
Literally a speed wobble, and then like lost balance. So if he did all those numbers right, if you add those up, 312, 190, 380.5, that's 883. That's where I see his top end. But whether he gets a bit nerfed by the coaches, they might put him a bit lower on bench,
but
they might put him a bit lower on squat.
I think he posted on his story he's not going above 870.
Oh, is he not?
He said 860 to 870. I'm pretty sure he posted. Remember, he done a Q&A.
Yeah, I did see it.
I'm sure he said either 870 to 880 because he's not going to go above 880 or 860 to 870. Either one of them. I think he might be 870 to 880. He said he's going to cap it at that because he wants to obviously prep for Worlds as well. So he's essentially, he's not going to push himself to the limit.
Yeah, there's no need really because he's clear favourite to win. Do you think he's going to go for the deadlift record then, as in the world record, or not bother?
It depends. Oh, Peach is handling him, so he might.
Okay.
If Matt Gary was, he probably would have been like, let's just play it safe.
Do you think he'll pull back on his squat to be able to have a shot at it just because he can, because he's literally that far ahead?
Potentially, if he's specifically capping his total to less than 880, I don't see him like sandbagging bench too much. He'll probably bench at least 185. Yeah, probably
sandbag the squat and then go for the deadlift.
Yeah,
make it fun for everyone watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give some stats on Ade. So he's done. He has done. He makes 7.6 attempts out of 9 attempts. He has 76%. He has hit 76% of his third squat, 92% of his third bench. He hit 92% of his first bench as well. Like he misses his first bench sometimes, which is crazy. And then 46% of his third deadlift. Some good numbers there. But obviously, there's not much to say about Ade, right? Because clear favorite. He's going there to have fun. And he's not really... He basically, the only way he loses is if he does something stupid and bombs out or doesn't make weight.
Yeah.
But which I don't...
One other question I'd pose to you all is, do you think that he will get best male lifter, or do you think someone else in the weight class below will take it?
Good question. It depends what Kiel weighs in at.
Yeah.
So if Kiel...
It'd be nice if he did, but if he's capping himself as well.
If he does.
880, I mean, it's still massive.
Kiel at Sheffield, I think, got 120 GL. And if Ade hits 880, that'll be 122 GL.
Yeah.
I reckon, given that it's seemingly surprising that he's entered this competition, and if he has entered to almost further that, proving a point, it might be that he's capped himself at 880 because that's what he thinks he needs to do. But I don't really, there's not really a doubt in my mind that if he was close, like he would pull to get best lifter, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Knowing him, from that one time I met him, he definitely will do that.
Yeah, exactly.
He has side quests.
Yeah, I back Ade just simply because he can pull whatever he needs to achieve best lifter, and the 83s on the Wednesday and the 74s on the Tuesday. So
exactly. So he'll just look and be like, right, this is what I need.
Yeah.
His GL point will be lower than Sheffield, I think. Even just say he weighs in at 70 kilos, right? How much more is he going to hit? Is he going to hit like 825, 820? Or is TL going to hit into the 800, low 800s? Because even if for him to match the same GL that he got at Sheffield, if he weighs in at 70, I think he needs to hit like 815. So it all depends what TL does the day before as well.
Okay, yeah.
Such a turnaround, isn't it, between Sheffield and Euros?
So I think I honestly don't. I still think he shouldn't do Euros. Still not too late. But anyway, we'll move on to our next lifter, Tasmin Campbell. I think that's my lifter, right? Yeah. So with her, she obviously didn't do British dispensation, and with her total, it was strong enough to qualify her for Euros. Her best numbers right now is 182.5 squat, 125 bench, 125 bench only, because her bench is way stronger than that right now. And 232.5 deadlift. Ooh, ridiculous. She's currently nominated second, 0.5 kg behind the person nominated first, which is Marta Jenner. That's Kiel's friend, right? But Marta Jenner is really strong as well, so it's really difficult to say where Tasmin will end up finishing. But with Taz, I've literally benched with her at squads, right? She benched more than me. And it was so embarrassing. It wasn't just that she benched more than me. She benched 2.5 kg more than my single for a triple. The only other time I felt embarrassed like that is when I trained with Tiff and she benched the same as me.
Yeah, that's humbling. Yeah.
Did you bench? Was Tiff there when Leah Barber came down?
No, but I have squatted with Tiff, who was like rack height 3 for 1, and I got mogged so hard by pretty much everyone in that gym, but that was probably almost the most humbling. Or actually, when I did the silent worker comp, and my biggest excitement was the fact that my opener was after Tiff's, which shouldn't even be exciting because she's like, I don't know how much lighter than me, but I was like, this is great. But yeah, it is humbling experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I invited them to come and train at my gym. They just mugged me. I was like, flipping heck, man. I should have told them not to turn up.
I remember when they came. I remember when they came to Emporium. My bench rack height was literally the same as their squat rack height on that day. I was looking over when I was benching. I was like, yeah, same. Same as a squat.
She had the lowest rack height. So our gym, we don't have the ER or anything, right? It's some unknown, the gym that we trained at. And she had the lowest one. And I think that was still a bit too high for her. We couldn't even take it any lower. I think it was a bit jammed, so we couldn't even take it any lower. And she still did like 100 kg bench. Yeah. But anyway, we're not talking about it. We're talking about Tasmin. So she mugged me as well at squad.
Yeah.
And I saw her squat. I trained deadlift with her as well. Her deadlift is very similar to. I don't want to compare myself to Ade, but mine and Ade's deadlift in terms of like it comes very slowly off the floor, but then lockout is very snappy.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen. Deadlift, it looks very similar to that. So I do see her getting like a deadlift PR, but the person that she's going up against, Marta Jenner, will probably be a bit clear of her. And then the person from France, do you know her?
Who is it? Yeah, Andorina's very, very strong. And I think, yeah, I mean, she was, yeah, I actually haven't, I've seen her training, but I haven't like been actively paying as much attention to it as I probably should have. But she is very strong, so I wouldn't look up past her.
That's what I was just gonna say. I had a quick look at her Instagram and stuff. Her training looked really good as well. So it's really hard to predict Tasmin Campbell in second place, even though she's nominated in second. But she does have a very high chance of finishing on that podium. Even though if you
then Marta as well, like, is she going to have a good day?
Marta's going to win. Don't you think she's clear?
I don't know. I feel like it's like she's incredibly strong. She's obviously far ahead on nominations, but I don't know. I think Tasmin, every time she competes, I feel like she just has, her day just gets better and better every time. And I don't know. I just think if one slip up from Marta, it could be anything. It could be like, I don't want to like make things up. So if someone knows, you can correct me. But I feel like one of the comps Marta did last year, she didn't have as good a time as she had previously. And it just made me think, actually, she's really strong. But the minute she makes one mistake, that can open the door up for whoever's right behind her, especially on deadlift, because that's where she really comes through to, like, you know, stay ahead. And I'm pretty sure she had some issues with her deadlift. But I don't want to be quoted because I don't know if that's entirely true. But I do remember one of her comps not going great. And yeah, it would be interesting to see if there was a possibility that she could be caught up with if she didn't have a perfect day, if she didn't have, you know, do the numbers that have given her the 550 nominated total.
When was the last time? Oh, last comp Taz did was Worlds last year, 2024. So it's been like almost a year since she last competed. That's one of the other things that I'm kind of, even though she's very experienced, I'm kind of cautious about predicting Tasmin for the win, is the fact that she hasn't competed in a year. And the comp that she's doing coming back is an international as well. So,
yeah. No, sorry, I was just going to say, because I don't want to discredit anyone, especially. And I kind of want to take back what I said because I've just seen that Marta's benched 140. So I'm just going to shut up.
Marta's not going to watch. It doesn't matter. You can say shit about her.
Yeah, but you know what? I just
we'll cut it out.
Yeah, I was going to say her raw strength is a bit too much for Tasmin, in my opinion, because she's also squatting to a 2.5.
Yeah,
and I'd back her to squat 200, bench like 135, and then probably pull around 235. Because I think her and Tasmin have probably got stronger by roughly the same amount, and I think the gap is a bit too much for Tasmin to capitalize on that and win. But I think it'll be close. I don't think it will be like a runaway victory. Yeah,
but I definitely see Tasmin on the podium though. Like even though there's other people close by, I do see Tasmin finishing on the podium. I'll just give a few quick stats on Tasmin as well. So she's done 19 comps. How many comps did you do? I think you've done more, right?
19. That's so many.
Liv.
Me? I have. Do you know what? I don't even know. That's bad, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure I had a look at your open IPF, but I don't think you did 19. But you did a lot. 19 comps, you know. I wonder when. I want to see when did she have her first comp. So third attempt on squat, 63%. Third attempt on bench, 57%, and third attempt on deadlift, 42%. And she makes 7.3 out of 9 attempts. 19 comps to have that high average. That's crazy. Okay, I think she does have a chance of. But if she goes 9 for 9 and Marta Jenna messes up a little bit, she does have a chance to win.
I think maybe it's just because I think that would be exciting and fun and obviously a great thing for GB. Yeah.
Talking about GB, do you think GB female team will win overall?
I don't know. The French got some good French lifters. Yeah, I mean, all round.
76 is even without scary.
The 76 is crazy, and even without the top, like I'm talking Leah, Tiff, they're not even there. And I think even without them, that's me hoping I haven't missed anyone out. But you know, you've got like Sov and in the 57s, you've got, you know, saying Anderina, got Laura, you've got Clara.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like with the French lot, they're all in the podium position, nominated everywhere.
Crazy. I think it will be maybe first and second. I don't know. So it'll be between France and GB. Again, is that a biased opinion? Possibly. So
definitely, it's going to be one of them two. It won't be anybody else because the others don't have enough top
No.
nominated lifters.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next lifter. While you talk about Will, Hannah, I'm just gonna quickly go heat up my food. Okay.
Okay.
So
does that mean I can open my Fiber One brownie?
Oh, you eat if you want. It's fine. But basically, while you talk, please take about 3 minutes because my microwave. I'm gonna put it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes. All right.
Okay, I'll try waffle on. That's fine.
The specificity.
Okay, so Will is obviously nominated second under Christian. So we've got another GB 1 and 2, which is nice. So looking at all the stats, it looks like Will has also done 18 competitions, but his first comp is in 2017. So I guess that's what, 8 years of lifting now? For me, that seems like a really long time. So I only started in 2020. So like these people seem to be like seasoned pros. Like I think this is Will's, I want to say he did his first international was in Sweden. I think this Euros in 2021. Then he did South Africa in 2022. And then he did, I think, the Arnolds in 2024, but that wasn't, so I won't talk about that comment. I think he was disqualified, but like it's nice that he's kind of come back to the international platform after a few years. And he looks the strongest he's ever been. Like, I know I've been looking through his posts and he has been posting consistently and everything's like, this is the strongest I've ever felt. I feel so good. So I'm really excited to see how he goes, because I think for being in the sport for 8 years and really only really feeling like he only changed weight classes in 2019. So kind of 6 years in the same weight class. And then in the last couple of years, things just getting really strong is really exciting. So I think at the British, his PB was like, I want to say around like 20, it was like 12.5 kilo PB, which is exciting. I think he's also looking at the British deadlift record, which is 361. I think he did 355 at nationals. He's done, I want to say 350 in training, I think, or maybe 340, but said like this is the strongest. So say that again.
Strong anyway. His deadlift it looked particularly strong at the British.
It did. I think he said that he felt like he had more in the tank, like it was a safe pull. So it'd be really exciting if he got the opportunity to do around 362. Because why not? I'm gonna look at Christian's deadlift because I don't actually know what it is. Yeah, so Christian's 357.5 is what he did it. Yeah, so I mean, be interesting to see obviously what the GB coaches choose to do for their deadlifts, because I guess 360, 355, they're kind of in the same ballpark. So yeah, I guess we'll just see. But yeah, so like Will's he's looking really strong. I think he's feeling good going into this competition. So it'd be nice to see like another PB on the platform, see what he can put up. Like I think another thing most of the athletes seem to be saying is like Spain's not too far. Like it does feel more relaxed, like more of an enjoyable competition being a Europeans rather than a World. So going off that basis, I feel like everyone's feeling like quite positive about the competition. So I guess we'll just see. But I reckon he'd be quite comfortable to stay in second behind Christian. Like I don't really see any massive threats if he can like keep everything together on the day, make all of his attempts. Like his attempts have been, I guess, kind of average for a powerlifter. Like I think average attempts successful is like 6.7, so around 60% success rate for bench and deadlifts, like finals. Like there have been a couple of competitions where we kind of failed first attempts for various things, but I don't know, he's looking strong. I don't really see the nominations changing too much at the top end, but I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I've spoken to him about this as well because I've done an interview with him. And since he's changed coach, I think his numbers have improved. Like I don't know if you guys remember in 2021 he came second, very close second behind Gustav in Junior World by 70 kilos. I think he was second, but he since then I think for about 2-3 years he wasn't hitting any PRs and he kept getting injured. From the interview that I did with him, he basically said that he had to change the way he trains in terms of like I think he changed the block length to 3 weeks. Usually they were always trying to push for 4 or 5 weeks, and what was happening was he kept getting injured and he wasn't able to perform on the day. So since he's changed his block length, I think, do you remember who he's coached by, do you guys?
I think it's Reactive Training Systems.
That's it, yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. I remember he trained at the gym that I train at down south, Athlete Movement, around Christmas time. I think it was Christmas time. Maybe it was just, I think it was just after the British. And there was a lot of plates on that bar. Like, I didn't take too much notice at the number, but he just kept repping. He just kept going. It was like 7 or 8, and I was like, this guy, he's still going. It
was that
insane.
recently, or was that before?
Sorry?
Recently, or was that with his previous coach?
I don't know. I feel like that must have been his recent coach. I feel like it was fairly recently. So I don't know when he changed coach, whether that was before Christmas, after, like, for Nats prep or not, but it was recently, and it was just, yeah, the volume was just crazy. But you look really strong.
Manny, could you do me the honors of reading the stats, please?
Yeah,
so while I finish my food, I'll need you guys to just take over for a bit.
Yeah, we've I think Hannah's...
Or do you want me to turn the camera off?
It's up to you, mate. But I think Hannah's already listed off a few of the stats for Will. Like she said, average attempt selection of 6.7. Oh, average successful hit 6.7 out of 9.
That's what it was. Okay.
A few technical errors on, like, first attempt, so 87% of first attempts squats made, 62% of first bench is made, but always gets his first deadlift. If we go into third attempts, then 75% on squat, 64% on bench, and a 61% on deadlifts. So he makes 2/3 of his final attempts on average. If you look on Power Scout, everything's green, so he's actually fairly consistent. Tends to take, yeah, go on.
With these stats as well, I think for someone like him, because it's 21 meets, bear in mind, I think he bombed out in his first meet. Do you guys know that, right?
Did he?
Did he really?
I'm pretty sure he bombed out.
Okay.
Let me quickly double check.
Well, it says 16 comps here.
Yeah,
Huh?
I know. Yeah, I think the first couple were a bench only comp.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 16 comps, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, 16 comp. I'm pretty sure he bombed out on his first
2 seconds.
with his second, Will Pickering, open powerlifting. One second. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, no, he didn't.
No, I think it was the Arnolds. He got disqualified. So I think it was bench.
Yeah.
No, that was
first
recently.
Didn't come up for his third.
What did he say? Was that? Oh, okay. I'm getting mixed up with someone else. Sorry, my bad. Ignore everything I just said. I was going to say his stats might be a bit wrong because he bombed out in 2 comp, but he bombed out in 1 comp. So
Yeah.
I guess that means, like, if you disqualify in 1 comp, does that still affect your attempts? Like, does it? So does it count? Say you went 3 for 3 on squat. Will that still count on the squat?
I think so.
Not?
I think it depends what you decide to come out for. Like, he came out for his first 2, like, bench, failed them both, didn't take his third. So I don't think that counts as a failed or missed attempt, but the first 2 would, if that makes sense.
It depends on whether you actually do the courteous thing and put in a third attempt for
yeah,
or
of
not.
Course.
So I've actually thought about this more recently. I was like, if it's a bigger flight, I just wouldn't put it in because it would ruin my
ruin my stats.
But if it's a short flight, then it's like you've got to take the L. You should have selected attempts better.
But then, if say you bombed out on bench or squat and you continue to do the rest of the comp, those numbers do add to the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I imagine so. Yeah.
So if I want to improve my bench attempt, and I bombed out on squat, I should still do bench, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking what I should do.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's Will Pickering. Okay, let's do this.
All right, so guys, I've got Will Pickering here. I'm just going to do a quick interview. Will, I've been basically following your training since 2021 when you hit that 805 at Junior World, right? Was it Junior World or Junior Euros?
Open Euros.
Was it Open Euros? Actually, yeah, Open Euros. And since then, I've noticed you had a big drop, like you hit that total again for till 2023 selection comp. And since selection comp, your training has improved. Like every comp, you're PRing. We won't talk about Arnold's. I think you bombed out on that one, right?
Ignore that one.
In every other comp. So I just wanted to ask you, what have you changed mainly that you see that you're able to make progress again?
I moved coaches. I don't think it's entirely down to that, because the two coaches, comparing the two, my current and my previous, they have very similar strategies. I think the main thing is just being able to stay healthy. So, you know, what I was saying, chopping off a week off of my blocks, every single block, that's off-season block, comp block, whatever, chopping off 1 week at the end helped massively. And just being able to run into a pivot and run straight into week 1 of the next block without having to have a couple weeks to deal with something that's come up in the previous 3-week section has been great. And it's really just kind of like, I'm happy that I can actually see how much I can actually perform without having to basically deal with a new minor to medium stage injury once every 2 months. You know, just tears and stuff all the time. I used to get them, but touch wood, I've been pretty healthy the last year, really, year and a half.
I know just before we started recording, you did say you've shortened your block. So do you feel like now you're able to stay healthier for longer? Because that block, you said after week 3, you were finding that you were really battered. So instead of pushing that week, do you feel like now that's helping you stay injury free?
Yeah, like I'm not someone who can, I'm not very good at kind of dialing things back. I do stick to the RPs and things, but I always want to try to get a little bit more out of it each week. So it's a combination of that and maybe just physically not being able to go that hard for that long, you know, for 4 weeks, 5 weeks that some of the other guys do. Chopping off that week and running 3 weeks means that I can push week 1 to week 2 and then know, oh, I've only got 1 more week of this block. And even if I end up overreaching, which is rare, I'm done with the block. And then I go into a big pivot, and the pivot deload is like, I'll do a squat main movement on Monday, a deadlift main movement on Tuesday, and then no other lower body main movements for the rest of the week. Everything else is just accessories and health related stuff that I'll pick myself, but no squats, no deadlifts, no barbell bench. So I get basically a week off and just do some chill stuff instead.
Fair enough. As long as, you know, you can, if that's working for you, hopefully you're still making progress following the same method. The next question I want to ask you is, you're currently nominated 2nd behind Christian, right? So what does a perfect day at Euros look like for you? Whether is there a specific number? Is it placing, or is it going 9 for 9? Or what would be the day that you come out very happy at the end?
Well, I'm never someone who likes talking about numbers in meets, but like going back to an international and going 9 for 9 would be great. I actually think I haven't gone 9 for 9 in a really long time. Like at nationals, I did great, hit a PB total 840, but I didn't go 9 for 9. I missed 2 of my openers. If I can hit all of those lifts and really feel like I got the most out of me in that day, I'll be really happy. I think also, you know, I really have faith in like the coaching staff and the handlers that they can, you know, let me pick weights that are sensible for the team and like placement and everything. Obviously being placed 2nd, I think 3rd and 4th are placed very close behind, only 10 kilo or something like this. So I know all of my 3rd attempts will be, you know, guaranteed kilos. So I'm maybe not expecting to make, you know, crazy big PRs and kind of Hail Mary jumps, but just anything that secures the points and goes 9 for 9, I'll be really happy with.
Fair enough. And what do you have a playlist, or do you have a specific song that you're looking forward to listening to on the come day?
Really no, like because I don't tend to the only reason I listen to music is because the gym is loud, and like a lot of people just talking in the background, and I tend to listen to music more with the purpose of like being able to focus on my own thing. But so normally in a competition, especially in the warm-up room, like I won't use any music because I find that it is a tool that I've used to disconnect from the environment to make me be more focused. But in this setting of a competition, I don't want to be disconnected from the environment. I want to feel kind of like the buzz, like feel everyone getting a little bit hyped, a little bit anxious, a little bit excited in the warm-ups, and then, you know, standing on the side, waiting to go on for your opening lift or big third attempt or whatever. I want to be in the moment and hear your handler talking to you, giving that last minute pep talk. You want to hear people in the audience. You want to hear the ref. You want to hear the plate sliding onto the bar. You know, it's all of these little things that are kind of sat in my head as kind of like, you hear that, it like switches you on. Like, I don't need the music. If I feel like it's too busy and noisy in there and I get distracted, I'll use it. But other than that, no, I'm just happy to be in the
That's actually such a good idea, because personally, I found when I'm warming up in a comp with headphones on, listening to music, I'm zoned in. But then as soon as I jump on the platform, take them off, it just hits you really hard.
Yeah. And you can't, because in training, you can slam your favorite song on, pump it up full volume, it'd be great. But they say bars loaded, your handler goes like, yeah, okay, let's go. You take your headphones out, all of a sudden you're in a completely different mental space, and you've got to refocus before you even get to the bar. And, you know, it may not be ideal, but that's the situation and that's the environment you're in. So
I'm actually practicing that, you know, trying to not have my headphones in for top sets. Maybe back off. Sometimes you just want to listen to it. But
just getting through stuff.
And one last question. Who is there a specific power lifter that is your favorite or you look up to? Or you can be a coach as well. It doesn't just have to be a power lifter or a coaching team.
I met him for the first time at Euros in 2021, where I narrowly placed second behind him. The main man, Gustav Hedlund, right? He only beat me by a narrow like 70 kilos on the total, but you know, I still came second behind him, so I'll keep that on my record. But no, honestly, seeing him just turn up to every competition, and he's so consistently there, and consistently he's never kind of dropped out. No one's ever wondering, is he going to turn up, is he not? You see him on the entry list, you know he's going to be there, you know he's going to just very likely just execute his lifts, and there's no nonsense about him. Just exactly what you see is exactly what you get with his lifting. And
what was the title they gave Jonathan Kaiko? Was it
Mr. Perfect?
I would give that to Gustav now.
I would too, because you see even how he did at Sheffield. Every single lift that he got was undeniable as well.
Yeah.
Like, no one could look at any of those and think, oh, maybe not, because everything that he did was executed so well. And he's just been so consistent over the last few years that that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. Just that consistent, steady progress. Doesn't have to be crazy fast.
Yeah.
Just watch out in 3 years' time, all of a sudden you're here and like, I'm right here. It's just don't stop moving, basically. That's it.
True. He has been smashing it recently. Okay, so now we're gonna quickly move on to a game. So talking about Gustav and Mr. Sheffield, this game is basically, I'm gonna time you for 30 seconds.
Oh no.
Over the last 3 years, you have to name as many athletes that have competed in Sheffield. Cool?
Sheffield?
In Sheffield, yeah.
When does it start?
Female.
You tell me when it starts and I'll go.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did this with Paul. He got 3. So I don't think you can do worse than that.
All right, okay. I'm bad with names, but we'll see what I can do.
He said the exact same thing.
Can I get first names only?
Yeah, as long as I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
You can't describe them as in, like, give some sort of thing towards it.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready, steady, go.
All right, Jesus, Gustav, Emil Krastev. You've got Ashton Rauska, Perkins, Durins, Ade, Abdul. You've got Russell Warhe, female, Agata Shitka, Jessica Bittner, Carlina Tongatea, Brittany Schlater, Tiffany Chapon.
Ooh, I can't count that. Kari said you didn't finish a book. You've got 13.
You put a time on it. If you gave me like a minute, I'll get them all.
Do you think you can actually name all of them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because like even now, I'm like, oh, I didn't say Pana, I didn't say Leah, I didn't say Kyoto. You know, all these people. Yeah.
Next, we're gonna move on to one and only Bettina Hanlon. That's your lifter, right, Liv? I'm gonna turn the video off again. You can
I was
talk
going to take a
about her.
quick pee break.
Oh, you wanna take a break?
Oh yeah, can we? I'll take a wee break.
Okay, Liv, do you want to take a break or do you want to talk about Bettina?
I'm not going to talk when no one's here. It's awkward.
If Bettina, you can talk about her. I'm just going to turn my camera off. Otherwise, you're going to just see me eating.
That's all right. I don't mind. You can
Okay,
eat.
go on.
You eat.
Go
Go
on,
eat. You eat your meal. Look at you. Yeah.
So let's talk about Bettina. So we both know her quite well. Right? Well, you know her way better than me. And I've been speaking to her since Euros, since she got selected for Euros. So we know that she's going to win, right? Go on, I'll let you take
this
over.
is this is a really difficult class for me to talk about. And I'm 100% saying this biasly, but I've got Clara in there, I've got Laura in there, got Betty in there, and I want all three of them on the podium because I love all three of them, and also because I would love an all A7 podium. And I mean, obviously we've got Temi as well. That's not me. That wasn't me saying Temi wasn't part of this. My point is more, it would be cool to have an all A7 podium for that class. But
hello.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, no, but I do think so. Wait, hold on. Before I continue, how is this working? Like when you're chopping this up, like is everyone back?
I just got back.
Everyone's back. I thought no one was here. Okay, I'm clear.
No. So when you're talking, it's only recording your screen.
Oh, that's terrifying. Okay.
It's only going to be you.
Okay, great. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but fine. Yeah, so she did not have the best meet to show her potential at the British. The numbers she's done leading up to Euros are very good, is what I'll say. I'm not going to say what she has done because I know she doesn't particularly want it out there, but they're good.
But I'm going to say it though.
You're going to say it?
Yeah.
No, don't say it.
I don't know where she hit.
Okay, don't. Okay, I was going to say, I don't know if she told you. I don't know if she told Christian's been harassing her, and she was like, hold on, you're Temi's coach. So yeah, I've been trying to like get it out of her, but no, she's had a really good prep. I think just the British was there's always issues with bigger archers. I feel like her and Sophia bench very similar, and I think that's always the way they bench is quite difficult to judge because the arch is still relatively high, but the ROM is still quite long because their arms are so long. So yeah, I feel like that was one of the reasons at the British, and just overall just wasn't the best performance for her. So yeah, I think like she'll be going into Euros a lot more confident. I also think she does have experience, but I still think it's a lot less experience than Sophia, definitely. Sophia's been everywhere all the time. And yeah, Temi's got her fair share of experience as well. But yeah, I think she's kind of blown up over the last year or so. She was in the 69s for ages, so like that, cutting into that was affecting her performance. She had a back injury. I think it was a back injury when she was a 69 lifter, which was problematic as well. And I feel like she kind of was massively under the radar for ages as well. And now has this is going to be like her surfacing meet, I think, because it's the Open. And yeah, I also feel like in Sabato, the Sabato podcast they did leading up to the British, she wasn't mentioned once, but she was nominated second. So I think things like that, it's the same as with Makeda. Like it's understandable, right? Because people will want, it's easier to talk about people they're training, you're more confident talking about it, that you're more likely to say the right thing. But yeah, I think she was massively overlooked. And the top 3 76ers at the British, so Sophia, Temi and Bettina, were pretty, like, I'm going to still say, I mean, obviously Temi and Sophia was crazy close, but Bettina did not have her best day. And I think if she can come into Euros and put up what she's been putting up in the gym, yeah, I think she's got more than a fair shot of podiuming. I don't, again, really hard for me to talk about this between Clara and Laura, but I do think, with nomination, Laura's training's been going amazingly, but so's Clara's. That it's going to be, I at the moment I can see 1, 2, or 3 being like Laura, Clara, and then it will either be Temi or Betty, I think, in third. If Temi can come in and do what she did at the British again, then or more, then then it looks like she could put onto the podium relatively easy. I'm just checking again numbers because there's also Ellen.
Laura is that 9H289 something Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I could see her hitting 600 or close to it.
Listen, I'm gonna crop this bit out, right?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go back to the video. Carry on about Bettina.
Sorry, yes. So I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself a lot and I'm getting all sweaty talking about it because I'm very conscious of saying the wrong things or putting people in the wrong place. So yeah, I do think, what I will say is I do think I think Bettina's ranked much lower than where she's going to come. I think she's nominated 6. I think she will be, I can confidently say she will be at the very least 4th, if not 3rd. I do think the top 2 will be Clara and Laura. I don't think, whichever way around that is, I think Laura, given how her training's been going, that's not gonna, I don't think, unless something goes seriously wrong, I don't think that's gonna change. But 3rd's gonna be a fight, and I think Temi's gonna be up there for it. Betty's gonna be up there for it. You've got Agnes and you've got Ellen. I can't say I know much about Ellen's training. I don't know if anyone does. Agnes has had really good training since she's gone up from the 69s. Do I think it will put her on the podium? No, but again, there's not been that much posted recently, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I do think it will be potentially an all A7 podium.
Controversial.
Before I put my 2 cents about Bettina, Hannah, did Luxembourg cost you a lot? Was it expensive to go to Luxembourg?
So
you not been paying your electricity bill or something? Why is it so dark?
Yeah, sorry, I tried to move next to the light. It's like all the sunlight is gone. Luxembourg wasn't meant to be very expensive, but they overbooked our rooms, so I ended up having to pay about double the price because they basically overbooked. But I mean, the food, I was only there for a couple of days, so I mean, it wasn't awful. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was just the rooms being overbooked that made it double the price for accommodation that it was meant to be. But it was fine. It was fine.
At least you didn't miss your first 2 bench attempts, right?
Fuck off.
You know what happened, Liz?
I was trying to figure out what was going on there. Your 3rd just flew up was hilarious.
Yeah, I just got stuck. So enjoy that maniac. I had so many people message me and ask me how the rack was afterwards, and I was like, don't ask me, you're not going to like the answer.
4 people sent me that same post that you posted. Story. Gab sent it on our group chat, right?
I think
really?
So.
Yeah, he sent it. My coach sent it to me. He's so worried about my bench now. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna be screwed." I'm like, bloody hell, man! So much for having faith in me. And
Wait,
then,
which rack did they use at Small Nations? Was it the Maniac?
Maniac, yeah.
Well, you're using Rogue at Euros, aren't you? So you're
Maniac.
Is it Maniac as well? I thought it was
It's
Rogue.
Maniac. Yeah, I'm pretty
Everyone's
sure it's
using
Maniac.
at Euros now.
Such a
Mad.
bad choice. Anyways,
It's like they've
How much
taken
the
all the
bar
worst
bend?
parts of racks and just put them together. That's how it felt.
Screwed on bench, so I think I'm gonna have to just bench like 115.
Yeah, but Kibria, like at least you're not a bench specialist. You know what I mean? Like it
Okay.
could, like if you were, it might be a bit of concern. But you've got your deadlift, so you can just pull what everyone else might miss on their bench that
yeah,
they were hoping
exactly.
to make up.
That's
kilos
another
on.
thing actually to note for all of this is how are they going to perform on that bench if it's that bad?
Exactly.
Well,
like
How's the pad? How's the pad as well? Is it like soft, medium, hard?
It's the hardest pad I have
looks
ever
hard.
lay on. It's grippy because it has like little markings on it. So it's
Okay.
not. I didn't actually find the hardness of the pad affected me, but I think that's because I was so concerned about being stuck on the rack that I wasn't thinking about it. Like it's fine. It's
they misloaded the first attempt, right?
So I thought they did because a ref came over and told us they had, but actually looking at the replays, all the right plates were in the racks on the side. So I actually don't think, I think the lift before me was misloaded, but we were told that my one was. It was just a shambles. It was just so bad.
I'm sorry to traumatize you again, but
okay. Character building.
But talking about the bench pad, Bettina's bench is not that like. I don't think hers will get affected by it. I mean, like she's a good bencher. I'm not saying she's a shit bencher. I mean that she's a good bencher that I feel like she can adapt to anything.
Yeah,
because she's trained at so many different gyms and stuff.
So we had a conversation about it. So she messaged me and asked me what it was like. So she has a head start. So I like sent her the picture, the dimensions. I was like, I think she'll be fine. Like it is a hard pad, but if you're someone who doesn't mind the hard pad, I think you're fine. Like if you're a really technical bencher, I actually feel like the soft pad might throw you off more just because it's like you have to get used to the sink, which is what I've heard some people say, but I think she'll be okay.
JJ said the opposite to me when I did my little poll about the soft pad versus the harder Lico pad. He was saying JJ Kibria's coach was saying that if you're a very technical bencher, or the more technical you are, the less it will throw you off. In his opinion, so it's interesting to hear like different.
No, his opinion is that if you're technical, you can. He always says to me, if you become technical, you can adapt to everything. That's his point.
Yeah.
So basically, if you know what to feel for, you know what you're gonna get. Whereas people that are raw lifters, they try to grind through their rep. They don't know what to feel. Like for me, I don't know what to feel. Like I just want to move the chest bar off my chest. That's what he's basically saying.
I agree with Hannah more. I agree with Hannah more. I think.
But then you got your third attempt. It flew. It's so crazy.
So it was like you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Having us all on.
Yeah. That was so funny. Oh God.
But anyway, we were talking about Bettina.
Yes.
So obviously Liv hasn't want to say the numbers or anything, right? And no, I don't know the numbers.
Yeah, I will just say that it's a lot more than what she did at the British.
Yeah, because in British she went 649. She missed a third squat, third bench, third deadlift. If she got all of them, she would have got 7 kilos from squat because she went for 201. She would have got a 2.5 on bench. Say she doesn't get that bench yet. We don't take it because obviously 2.5 means you've maxed out. And then deadlift, she went for what, 12.5 kg from her second, because she went from 210 to 222.5. So that's kilos. She could have potentially, well, she should have got if she held on to that deadlift anyway. Use better chalk next time. And then say she even adds like what 10, 15 kilos to her total. That would place her. What is she nominated right now? She's nominated 520. She'll be 535. That will be just below the podium. But I had a look at the Finland. You guys know who that is?
Ellen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know who that is, but I'm not.
I don't see her on the podium, basically.
You don't?
I don't see Ellen on the podium. I don't know Agnes that well, so I don't know about that. So I overlooked her because I see Bettina around 540 total.
At what?
540.
Yeah.
She's gonna burn her ships and come for it all.
Okay, well, yeah.
More than 540. Even more.
No, I'm not saying she's done more, but do I think she might do more? Yes. Yes, I do.
So in that case, then.
But again, it's you know, it's international. It does make a difference. And
here's one thing I'm gonna say. To Bettina, she's listening. I don't really care. Basically, she gets affected mentally quite easily. I think
she's quite a nervous lifter. Yeah.
So if she can hold her nerves, she's gonna be okay. But you know how you were saying about Sabado, I'm pretty sure like that affected her going into British, and I hope this time she doesn't listen to any of these, apart from mine, obviously. Apart from this one, she doesn't listen to any preview videos and just focuses on her own lift.
It's definitely like, yeah, I think she could do with a little bit more. She's a confident person, but I think just anxious lifter, which is so fair. I mean, you know, another anxious lifter is Kunz. Like, he used to take like 15 minutes to decide if he was going to pull 330 off the floor because he couldn't bring himself to walk up to the bar. And I just think that's a massive, like, can be a massive problem when, you know, you're going to an international, because it's just the nerves are like even worse. Because
is it too early to make a joke on Kunz?
No, leave Kunz. He's training again. He's
benching. I was voice noting him the other day. He's benching again.
Man, I love
Kunz,
man. He was at the hospital next to my house, so I did message him and everything.
Oh.
Bless him. Don't. He looks so sad.
But I'm sure if I did make a joke, he wouldn't even be watching this. It doesn't matter.
No, he's in good spirits.
He's gonna have a massive bench by the end of it, and then it will all work out. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think Betty's gonna squat 200 or 202.5? Because I know Ayana squatted 201.5 for the British record. Do you think she loads 202, or do you think she's not really gonna care because it's an international?
She could. I think she has the strength to.
Oh, yeah.
No, go on.
She has the strength to, but depends on her handler. I don't know if they're loaded.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will depend on how she's handling. I'm sorry, it's so funny because you're eating and you're on your iPad, aren't you? Because it's tracking you. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's the iPad tracking. Mine does. It's so annoying.
So annoying. I couldn't figure out what it was.
I was like, why are you moving? Am I tripping? Like, what's going on?
You can't do anything in peace. It's like it just follows you everywhere. But yeah, I think like she, again, like you said, it will depend on who's coaching her and how confident she's seeming and feeling. Because if she's looking nervous or unsure, and she goes, if they're like, how are you feeling? And she goes, I don't know. Then I don't know if that's going to be what will happen, and will they do just what will give her the shot at her best total.
Yeah.
Or potentially when it comes to pulling. But I think she's obviously got a massive deadlift, but it's not compared to like Laura, and even, although no, actually it's
Laura has a huge bench, 145.
She's benched I think she's benched more than that. I think she's
benched 150 in the gym.
Yeah. I mean, she's
very close to mine.
Money, you gotta up your game, mate.
I know, mate. I know.
But yeah, I think if she can, she needs to kind of have all three of her lifts go well to get her on the podium. So she needs as much as she can get out of. I mean, that's a given. Everyone does, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not like she can. I don't think she'll necessarily be in a position where she can load up her deadlift a crazy amount. I just think she needs to pace herself and basically go 9 for 9. And yeah, kind of like piece together a good day, and then hope that she's done enough on squat and bench that she can have a confident pull that will put her on the podium. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. I hope
her progress is ridiculous, though. If you look at that chart,
yeah, I know,
from 455 in 2023 to 520, it's just going up. So if you look at that, and if you do the math, 540 is right.
Yeah,
530 should be around 530.
Yeah.
But I'll just read through a few quick stats. Her third attempt, she on squat is 66%. On bench, 22%.
Oh, but it's bench.
22% in 9 comps. Prove your bench, mate. And deadlift 55%.
Maybe the Maniac was built for her. Maybe that's what will happen.
I reckon she's going to thrive on it. Watch.
Yeah.
9 for 9 days.
Benching 140. Watch.
Coming for it all.
So she knows that 140. I hope she doesn't bench more than me. I hope you do really well. I hope you win. I just hope you don't bench more than me.
That's why I draw the line.
Yeah. I mean, Tasmin's going to bench more than you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I accepted it. But right now, because I have a higher bench than
Kibria has the smallest bench in GB.
It's like with Joey, yeah. I want him to do really well, but just not better than me.
Hater mentality.
That's not hater, yeah? Hater is I want him to bomb out and everything. Like, I want to come first. I want him to come second. It's like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's enough of Bettina. I think we spent like 20 minutes talking about Bettina, right?
Because you kept going to track.
We have a few bits to crop out as well, innit?
Oh?
We do have a few bits that we have to crop out.
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. 10
no
pounds into my account, please.
In there, please.
Sorry?
No accidental, like, leaving certain things in there. Like you talking about loving.
Oh my God, you just mentioned it again. So that's this again.
Yeah, I think Liv's gonna need to watch this back. It'll be your second pair of eyes to like chop and change things. Anyway,
we have to move on.
Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got Bettina Hanlon here with. What are you laughing for?
It's so funny when you. Sorry, let's do it again. I won't laugh.
Okay. Let me get this on. Let me get my interview on. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got Bettina Hanlon. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got Bettina Hanlon here, 76 kg, British powerlifter who's going to be doing Euros. And first of all, I'm going to ask you from the beginning, Bettina, how was squads?
Yeah, really, really great. I was so happy to be there. I really enjoyed meeting the rest of the GB team. Really nice.
Okay, I was just messing about there. How do you feel that you didn't actually get to go to squads and you got your spot a few days after?
Yeah, so okay, so I was like kind of busy that weekend, so like in that sense it was like fine. But like other than that, like I'm a little bit sad because I haven't really met many people on the team. And I feel like everyone kind of knows each other because everyone's pretty like established. And I'm like going to my first open international comp and yeah, just not really knowing people. Like I know a few people, but not really everyone. So it's a little bit of a shame that I wasn't able to meet them. But yeah, other than that, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in future. So yeah.
To be fair, the way Euros is spread out, I don't think everyone's going to be able to meet everyone because, like, for example, I fly back on Wednesday and I think you fly on Thursday. So we're definitely not going to see each other and things like that. But it is what it is. Squad was good though. Shame you missed. So in terms of the Euros, what is like a perfect day for you? What would you say? Like, is there a certain number you want to hit? Is there a certain placing, winning? What is like the perfect day for you at Euros?
I think maybe my second ever 9 for 9 would be nice. I've only ever done that once, and about 2 years ago. So yeah, more than 6 for 9 would be good. I don't really know because I don't really have certain numbers in mind because I guess that's going to be down to the coaches. So I suppose just hitting the attempts that they give and doing better than I did at British because I felt like that total didn't really like reflect what I was capable of. So it'd just be nice to do like more like what I think I'm capable of on the platform and also not drop a deadlift again because I don't think I've got another deadlift drop in me.
Yeah. How's training going now compared to British? Is it? Would you say? Have you changed much? Done like grip strength or anything like that, or?
I have, yeah. My knee sleeves have changed, but
knee
yeah,
sleeve?
yeah. I'm in the SBDs now. I normally wear my stiff sleeves. So.
Oh, for squats.
Yeah, variables. Other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same. Like, if anything, it's going worse because I've got like deadlines and stuff, like work-wise. But I'm still ticking along and hitting what I need to be hitting, and so yeah, I can't be annoyed. It's fine. I'll be fine.
Fair enough. Sometimes training doesn't go that well, and on comp you start smashing it. And I mean, you went, what, 649 last come, right? So even if you got 749, that's still better.
Still an improvement, yeah. I say it can't get worse than that. It definitely can get worse than that. So touch wood that it doesn't. So.
Oh yeah, actually it can. Hopefully it doesn't. And then it's not going to be uncut unless you want me to put it uncut.
No, don't do it uncut because I've been so awkward.
It makes it more funny though. Okay, so the next question, who is your favorite athlete? It could be British, it could be American, it could be anybody. Who would you say your favorite athlete is? Or favorite powerlifter, not athlete. Powerlifter is not athlete.
Any sport. Okay, all right. Powerlifter. I mean, I guess it's got to be Agata, doesn't it? Like,
you're a sellout, man. Say the same person everyone will say.
So good. Like, she's literally got like, she just like dominates from the 84 and now she's going to 63. Like, how does one person be good at every single weight class?
And last question before we go into the game. What is going to be the song that you're going to be playing on your last deadlift or last squat?
Oh, it will almost, don't know about squat because I just try and like not get stressed out for squats. Deadlifts, it will be Ascensionism by Sleep Token.
Am I meant to know what that is?
No, but like maybe listen to it after. It's a good song.
I'm going to put the timer on in 30 seconds. There's been 3 Sheffields. And you have to try to name as many as you can powerlifters that have competed in Sheffield. It can be from any 3.
Sheffield, any Sheffield.
Male, female, whichever one you want, okay? 1 second. Right. I'll count you in. Ready, steady, go.
Okay, Evie, Jad, Bobby, Carlina, Jess Bittner, Agata, Leah, Carola, Alba, Russ, Durans, Mo, Ade, Gavin Aiden, Kajel.
And that's time. 15.
That's
actually not bad. That's actually not bad.